Aztec Empire, the emperor who became a hostage. Imagine you are the most powerful man in the known world. Your empire rules over millions of people. Your capital is an island fortress surrounded by water. Your armies have never lost a war. And then you receive news. A group of bearded men riding giant animals has just entered your city. They didn't invade. They didn't fight. You let them in. And now, as they walk through the streets of your capital, surrounded by 200,000 people who could destroy them in seconds, you realize something. You no longer know who is in control. 3 months later, you will be dead, your city destroyed, your empire erased from history. And it all started with a decision you thought was strategic. But in reality, it was the exact moment you lost everything. This is the story of Moctezuma II, the Aztec emperor who ruled the greatest empire in the Americas, and Hernán Cortés, the Spanish conquistador who bet his own life on a single gamble. 2 men, 2 suicidal bets. Only one survived, but did he really win? The illusion of control. April 15, 19. Gulf of Mexico coast. 500 Spaniards land in Veracruz. Adventurers, debtors, criminals fleeing Cuba. The leader? Hernán Cortés, a failed lawyer, 34 years old, who had never won a battle in his life. The governor of Cuba sent him to explore, not to conquer. But Cortés has other plans. As soon as he lands, he burns his own ships, all of them. His men watch in shock as flames consume their only escape route. Cortés looks at them. Either we conquer an empire, or we die here. There is no plan B. Meanwhile, 400 kilometers away, Moctezuma II receives the first reports. Strange men landed on the coast, pale skin, beards, wearing metal, riding enormous creatures. The messengers describe weapons that spit fire and thunder. Moctezuma listens in silence. He's ruled for 18 years. 150,000 warriors answer to his command. He is the most powerful man in these lands, and he is afraid. Because there is a prophecy. Gods would come from the east in 1519, and the description matches. Moctezuma isn't sure, but the doubt is enough to paralyze him. He could crush Cortés right now, 500 men against 150,000. But he doesn't act. Because Moctezuma is not a warrior. He is a priest, an administrator. He believes he can control the situation without violence. So he sends gifts: gold, jade, feathered cloaks, and 2 sacrificial victims, in case the visitors want blood, and a message: stay away. The messengers return. The white men refused the blood, but they became obsessed with the gold. Moctezuma understands. They are not gods. They are dangerous men. But he still hesitates, and Cortés interprets this as weakness. Each gift confirms there is unlimited wealth waiting, and he keeps advancing. Cortés marches inland and finds tribes that are enemies of the Aztecs. They hate Moctezuma more than they hate the Spaniards. Cortés offers an alliance. They accept. Suddenly, Cortés has 20,000 indigenous warriors on his side. Moctezuma receives the news and locks himself in his chambers for 2 days. And when he emerges, he makes a decision his advisors don't understand. He invites Cortés to Tenochtitlán, the capital, the heart of the empire. Moctezuma believes he can control him up close. He can't. November 8th, 1519. Cortés sees the city for the first time. Tenochtitlán is a metropolis built in the middle of a lake. Massive pyramids, temples, palaces, giant marketplaces. 200,000 people, perhaps 300,000, larger than any city in Europe. And he is entering with fewer than 500 Spaniards. Moctezuma comes out to receive him. The meeting is polite, almost cordial. Both men lie. Cortez is taken to a palace, luxurious quarters, abundant food. Everything seems perfect, but Cortez knows he is in a trap. The bridges can be raised at any moment. He needs to turn the tables. The silent collapse. 7 days later, Cortez does something no one expected. He invades Moctezuma's palace with 30 men and arrests the emperor inside his own house, in the middle of the empire's capital. Think about this for a second. Cortez has 500 soldiers. Moctezuma has 200,000 people in the city. And Cortez decides to kidnap the emperor. Why? Because he understood something fundamental about power. If I die, he dies with me. Cortez doesn't have an army to conquer by force, but he can make the entire city hostage to a single life, Moctezuma's life. Cortez justifies the arrest with a flimsy excuse, says there was an attack on the coast, that Moctezuma ordered it. Moctezuma denies it. Cortez insists. The conversation lasts for hours. Moctezuma tries to negotiate. Cortez doesn't budge. Eventually, Moctezuma agrees. Moctezuma moves into the Spanish quarters. He continues to govern, continues to give orders, just under constant surveillance. And here is what destroys him. It's not the physical imprisonment, it's the public humiliation. The Aztec elite sees everything: the priests, the generals, the nobility. They see the emperor living as a hostage of the invaders. They see Moctezuma obeying Cortez's orders. And gradually, something happens. They stop obeying him, stop respecting him, stop believing in him. Because power is not about physical strength, it's about collective belief. And the moment people stop believing you have power, you don't. Months pass, tension grows. The Aztecs see the Spaniards destroying temples, melting sacred gold. And Moctezuma? He asks for calm, but no one is listening anymore. The generals whisper, Moctezuma is weak. He betrayed the gods. And Cortez realizes the hostage is worthless now. May 15, 20. Cortez needs to leave the city. He leaves a captain in command, experienced but paranoid. The tension in the city is unbearable. And then, the Aztecs ask permission to hold a festival. The captain decides to allow it, but with one condition: no weapons. The Aztecs agree. The festival begins. The plaza fills with thousands of people, dancers, drums, incense. The captain watches from the walls and starts to get nervous. One of his men says he heard rumors of an attack. The captain doesn't know if it's true, but he is afraid. He orders his men to surround the plaza and attack. The Spaniards enter with swords drawn and begin to kill. The dancers are first, unarmed, cut down from behind. Blood flows down the pyramid steps. The massacre lasts minutes. When it's over, hundreds are dead, and the city explodes. Within hours, tens of thousands of Aztec warriors surround the palace. The captain tries to use Moctezuma to calm the crowd. He takes the emperor to the walls. Moctezuma tries to speak. The crowd shouts back, "Coward, traitor, puppet." And then they start throwing stones. One hits Moctezuma in the head. He falls. 3 days later, Moctezuma dies. The emperor who ruled the greatest empire in the Americas, the man who commanded 150,000 warriors, died stoned by his own people, or murdered by the invaders he invited in. It doesn't matter, because Moctezuma was already dead the moment he lost authority. And now, Cortez is trapped in a city that wants to destroy him. The Spaniards are under siege. No food, no clean water. Cortez realizes if they stay, they all die. He has only one option: escape. The destruction. June 30, 1520, midnight. Torrential rain. Cortez and his men try to flee Tenochtitlan in silence. They cross the first bridge, then the second. Almost reaching the third, the Aztecs discover them. What happens next is pure carnage. Canoes emerge from all sides, arrows rain down, men fall into the water, drowned by the weight of the gold they tried to carry. Screams in Spanish, screams in Aztec, screams of death. It's total chaos. They lose half their men that night, more than 600 Spaniards killed, thousands of indigenous allies massacred. When the sun rises, Cortez is on the other side of the lake, alive, but destroyed. He sits beneath a tree and cries. For the first time since leaving Cuba, Hernán Cortés has no answer, no plan, no way out. His men call that night La Noche Triste, the sad night. Most conquistadors would have given up, gone back to Cuba, accepted defeat. But Cortés decides to return. He spends the next 8 months preparing, rebuilds the army, forges cannons, and builds 13 warships transported overland. He's not going to reconquer Tenochtitlan. He's going to destroy it. Meanwhile, something terrible is happening inside the city. Smallpox. The disease arrived with the Spaniards, and now it spreads uncontrollably. Thousands die, tens of thousands. A new emperor takes over, determined to fight to the end, but smallpox has already weakened the city. May 1521. Cortez surrounds Tenochtitlan with 100,000 indigenous allies. He cuts the aqueduct. Without fresh water, the population begins to suffer. The brigantines, warships built on the lake, destroy the Aztec canoes. And then the bombardment begins. Cortez doesn't try to take the city all at once. He destroys systematically, burns houses, tears down temples, kills civilians. Each day, the city shrinks. The Aztecs resist fiercely, but hunger is killing more than swords. The siege lasts 75 days.
Inside the city, the scene is apocalyptic. Bodies in the streets, diseases spreading, hunger, thirst, cannibalism. People eat tree bark, drink salt water from the lake, and keep fighting. It's not courage, it's desperation, because they know if they lose, everything ends. Their religion, their language, their memory, everything. August 13th, 1521. The final defenses fall. The Aztec Emperor tries to escape by canoe. He is captured, taken to Cortez. He looks at the conquistador and says, "I have done everything to defend my people. I can do no more. Now take the dagger from your belt and kill me." Cortez refuses. He embraces the emperor, and then has him tortured. Cortez wants to know where Moctezuma's gold is. They burn the emperor's feet with oil. He doesn't speak, because there is no treasure. Most of it sank in the lake. Cortez finds almost nothing. It is estimated that between 200,000 and 300,000 people died. Tenochtitlan, the greatest city in the Americas, is destroyed. Cortez becomes governor of New Spain, as the Spaniards renamed Mexico. For a few years, he's one of the most powerful men in the world. But the glory doesn't last. Cortez spends the rest of his life fighting in courts. He dies in 1547, in Seville, bitter, in debt again. At 62 years old, he writes to the king, "I gave you an empire, and you gave me nothing." And the Aztecs? Within 50 years, 90% of the population dies. Not by swords, by diseases. Smallpox, measles, typhus. So, in the end, Moctezuma hesitated until he lost everything. Cortez bet everything and won an empire that was never truly his. And an entire world disappeared. Not by bravery, not by strategy, but by irreversible decisions and invisible viruses. The question is not who won. The question is, was it worth it? If this story made you think about the weight of decisions and the price of power, you need to know another one. The story of a Roman emperor who ruled the world, until in a single day he became a prisoner. And when he died, he didn't get a funeral. His skin was stripped, dyed red, and displayed as a trophy. The emperor who became a footstool. The next video is available now. You'll find the link on screen and in the pinned comment. If you made it this far, thank you for staying. If this kind of story resonates with you, support the channel, share this video, and subscribe. It seems simple, but it makes all the difference to us. See you in the next one.